Okay, When I Get Home. This is such a fun little tune. I suspect it's not one of the more popular ones. Maybe if you said to someone I'm listening to When I Get Home, they might not be able to recall instantly what that song is. But I love it. And I love this album. This is my first one from this album because I had kind of lost my CD and I needed to find it before I could do what I do. So I've been wanting to get to this album, and I didn't think I would start with this, but it caught my ear. As I was listening to tracks without the band, because there's this super weird fill that kicks things off. Here's what it is: one, two. At least that's how I think he's doing it. That's my very, very best guess. Instead of ba 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 ba, it's ba 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 da, with the bass drum in there kind of as like a grace note that barely precedes the main hit on the and of four, on the last eighth note of the bar. So the band has that figure, whoa, whoa, ba 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 ba, and you, any drummer I think would just play that, maybe that, or something like that, just ba 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 to match what the whole band is doing on their instruments as well as with their voices. However, Ringo has, I think. Now I don't know for sure. I actually spent a ton of time listening to just that fill. And I've considered all different possibilities. What is he doing here? I wish there was some live recording of them playing this so I could get an idea, but there's nothing. And so this is what I think he's doing. Why is he doing this? Like, why not just support the band in that figure? I don't know. Either way, I think I got to give credit to the rest of the group, because if Ringo came to them with this idea, or if they were jamming through it and he played this, and they're like, "Hey, what are you playing again?" He's like, "Oh, I'm doing this." For them to go along with it, whether they were like, "Okay, Ringo, we'll do it," or whether they were like, "Yeah, man, okay, cool," I don't know. But it's so awkward and weird sounding. If I was in a band and we had that figure, ba 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 ba, and I suggested playing this, I guarantee it wouldn't go well. People would wonder what I'm thinking. Like, are you are you with us? Are you hearing what we're doing? Because it's just so awkward. And yet, when you listen to the music, like those of you listening that have, all you longtime Beatles fans that have heard this song for decades, like me, have you ever noticed that? Have you ever noticed that the drums go ba 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 da? I'll upload a track of just drums so you can hear it. It's clear as day without the rest of the band. But with the band in there, it just makes it like slightly more interesting than if he didn't do it. I've always noticed that there's something there. It feels like it's kind of elongated, or it feels like Ringo's waiting till the last possible second to play that hit, and then it's maybe just like a tiny bit behind, which is groovy or whatever. But it's because he's fitting in an extra note. So listen to the link to the drums only track. It's clear as day. When I first listened to it without the band, coming into the tune the very first time, I didn't notice it so much because he barely gets it in there. It's barely off. But the second time he does it, I did like a double tick. Like, what? And I even thought that must be where they spliced it, and it didn't quite line up because that was ridiculous. And then keep listening. Lo and behold, Ringo does it the whole song. It's clearly intentional because it starts off really close, almost not like an extra note. It's possible that this was a mistake and Ringo kind of ran with it. You can roast me for saying that if you want. I don't care. But it's possible he was gonna do, that with kick, snare, crash all at the same time, and it didn't quite line up. So he was like, "Oh, that was kind of cool. I'll go for it." And then on the next one, he got really kind of loose with it and then just kept it the whole tune. Maybe that's what they did. And maybe afterwards they all had a laugh about it. And maybe George Martin didn't care enough to say, "Hey, you got to do that again." And they just left it in there to troll everybody, because that'd be so Beatlesy of them. Also, Ringo, just his personality. Like, if it feels good and it works, like, what else is there? I think he's not, that anal like some of us are. Despite the weird stuff that we just talked about that somehow works, that's super Ringo-y, there's these other things that are really common and normal. The rest of the tune is super basic and straightforward. He sometimes does a bit of I guess you could call it a fill, where he plays kick and snare together. and then he keeps on going. But that's very Ringo-y. I have learned that as I've been doing these videos. He does kick snare together lots of times as a setup to create phrasing for the next phrase to begin or to end a phrase. So that happens a bunch in this tune, all in very purposeful places. Ringo has a clear idea of what he's doing there and he sticks to it. That's super cool. There's that fill he plays. And the first time it's very Ringo-y in the sense that it's, well, first the fill's Ringo-y. He does that fill in a bunch of tunes. It's got that nice clave to it. And then it's also rushed, like it's a little bit out of time. But it doesn't feel like that with the band. Once he finishes the fill, he gets back into it and he's right there rock solid with the time. The groove keeps on going. Somehow he manages to do that in just pretty much every song, where bar to bar, big picture time is good. Overall time is good. The little tiny details inside the bar lines, though, can get all crazy and out of whack. They can be swinging or out of time, whatever you want to call it. And it doesn't affect his overall timing being rock solid. Super Ringo-ish. That is hard to do. I had to do a few takes of that because it's hard to get that, to rush that and then come out of it and then just be right back in time. It's even hard to do that with this weirdo fill he's got at the beginning because it feels it feels so weird and out of time. It's hard to play that and not lose the groove. That fill, he doesn't do it everywhere you want to. So he does it in those first two places. They play the bridge, then they go back to that 2-bar turnaround where that fill fits. He's playing it simultaneous to the lead guitar, which I assume is George, the first two times, and then George plays the fill the third time. And I want the snare drum to do it too, and he doesn't do it. And he could at least crash to start the last verse, but he doesn't. He does nothing. He just keeps on going with his his groove, da da da, doing whatever he's doing. That's so Ringo-y too. I even almost played the fill, just going through it in the tape just now, and I had to stop myself. Like, nope, no fill there, even though it really feels like it should be there. I love Ringo's approach to the bass drum. It's so consistent with the sound and the timing, but the pattern is not. He's got a very, like, mostly consistent pattern. He's got a very clear idea of what he's doing, and he sticks with it almost all the time. But then once or twice, he leaves a note out where it feels like it should have happened. To me, that's a super Ringo thing to do, and it's also kind of some good insight into how they're recording this. The fact that this is pretty much just live. I think, they just have everyone going at once. There's nothing isolated, and they're just going for it. And if you miss a bass drum note here or there that you were gonna do, no biggie, like no big deal. That's another just kind of Ringoism where I think just kind of happy-go-lucky about it. Like, yeah, that was great. Maybe he didn't even notice he missed that. Or if he did, it's no big deal. Some drummers and some musicians, I think you miss one note, like you got to do it again. You got to get it perfect. And Ringo's, it's just kind of like, yeah, it's cool. It's good. And then, of course, at the very, very end, he ends with a crash. And I I want to end with a ba because the whole time I've been crashing, it's been with that weird ba. And he doesn't do it at the end. So another instance where Ringo like leaves me wanting more from him, where I hear things and I think he's gonna do it and he doesn't, and it has this great effect of like causing me to wish he did it, which I just think is a wonderful thing to achieve in music when your audience is drawn in that way and they want to hear you do something and you don't give it to them. That's fantastic to me. That's magical, and that's something not a lot of music or music groups achieve, in my opinion. So, super Ringo-y, so much fun to do. Thanks for tuning in. Ringo Starr, of course, is the man, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. See ya.